On May 29, 1453, after a relentless 53-day siege, the fate of Constantinople hung in the balance. Within the city's aged but mighty walls, the last of the Byzantine soldiers, along with citizens young and old, prepared for the inevitable. Outside, the triumphant Ottoman army, led by the formidable Sultan Mehmed II, also known as Mehmed the Conqueror, was poised to breach the defenses and claim victory. Little did they know that in a few short hours, the course of history would be altered forever. This wasn't just another battle. It was a clash of civilizations, a confrontation between two worlds that had shaped much of human history. For centuries, Constantinople, the capital of the Eastern Roman or Byzantine Empire, had stood as an unwavering bulwark against the rising tide of Islam. Its massive Theodosian walls were considered impenetrable, and within its embrace, the Orthodox Christian world found solace and strength. But now it was about to fall. As the sun rose on May, casting long shadows across the city, the Ottoman forces made their final preparations for the assault. Among them was a young, ambitious Ottoman soldier named Turan. He had heard the legends of Constantinople's unbreachable walls since he was a child, and now he was about to witness their fall firsthand. As the Ottomans prepared to unleash their full force on the city, a sense of anticipation and awe hung in the air. They knew that what followed would echo through the ages. Inside the city, the defenders were making their own preparations. Emperor Constantine XI, the last emperor of the Byzantine Empire, moved from palace to palace, trying to rally his troops. The ragtag army consisted not only of seasoned veterans, but also nobles, monks, and even teenage boys. They were vastly outnumbered and outgunned, but they fought with the ferocity of those who had nothing left to lose. As the morning mist cleared, the Ottoman assault began. Cannons roared, shaking the very foundations of the city. Men charged into the fray. Steel clashed against steel in a deadly ballet of war. The cries of the wounded mingled with the shouts of the combatants, creating a cacophony of noise that was both terrifying and exhilarating. For the Byzantines, the weight of history pressed down on them. Every inch of ground they defended had been soaked in the blood of countless ancestors. They fought with valor, determined to preserve the legacy of their forefathers. However, despite their bravery, it soon became apparent that the end was near. The Ottoman forces were simply too strong. Their ranks were deep, their weapons were sharp, and their determination was unwavering. Slowly but surely, the Byzantines began to fall back. The once proud army was routed, fleeing for safety behind the great Theodosian walls. There, in the labyrinth of narrow streets and crumbling buildings, they made one last stand. But even here, the Ottomans were relentless. They pushed forward, wave after wave, until finally, the weary defenders were forced to surrender. On May 29, 1453, the flag of Islam was raised over the city of Constantinople. The walls that had stood for so many centuries had fallen. The Byzantine Empire, the eastern half of the Roman Empire, which had survived for so long, was no more. In its place, a new power would rise, reshaping the balance of the world. The fall of Constantinople was a pivotal moment in history. It marked the end of the Byzantine Empire and the beginning of the Ottoman era in the Eastern Mediterranean. The capture of this legendary city by Sultan Mehmed II not only demonstrated the growing strength of the Ottoman Turks, but also signified a shift in power between East and West. Constantinople's strategic location at the crossroads between Europe and Asia made it a prize worth fighting for. By seizing the city, the Ottomans gained control of vital trade routes and resources. This newfound wealth and power allowed them to expand their influence, and eventually establish a vast empire that spanned 3 continents. In the aftermath of the conquest, Mehmed II, now known as Mehmed the Conqueror, took steps to integrate the conquered city into his empire. He encouraged the remaining Christians to stay in Constantinople and contribute to its revitalization. Additionally, he established a system of religious tolerance, ensuring that Christians and Jews could practice their faiths freely within his domain. These policies contributed to the flourishing of trade, art, and culture during the Ottoman era. Constantinople, renamed Istanbul, became the new capital of the Ottoman Empire, a testament to the enduring legacy of the city. As the seat of the Sultan's power, it played host to magnificent mosques, palaces, and other architectural marvels. The Hagia Sophia, once a Byzantine cathedral, was converted into a mosque and served as a symbol of the city's transformation. The fall of Constantinople had profound implications for the relationship between East and West. The capture of such an iconic Christian city by an Islamic power heightened tensions and mistrust between the 2 civilizations. This event contributed to the growing divide and the emergence of distinct Eastern and Western churches. The loss of Constantinople also inspired a sense of urgency and determination among Western European leaders to reclaim the city and halt the spread of Islam. This would later contribute to the Crusades, a series of religious wars aimed at recapturing Jerusalem and the Holy Land. But despite the efforts of Western powers, Constantinople remained under Ottoman rule for centuries. The city's strategic importance and cultural richness ensured its prominence on the world stage. Istanbul, formerly Constantinople, continued to thrive as a center of trade, diplomacy, and intellectual pursuits. Its cosmopolitan population embraced the diversity of cultures and religions that converged within the city's walls. The fall of Constantinople marked not just the end of an empire, but a turning point in history. The rise of the Ottoman Empire and the decline of Byzantine rule reshaped the political and religious landscape of the Eastern Mediterranean. The conquest of this legendary city by Sultan Mehmed II was a defining moment that echoed through the ages. Hey there, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. We've been exploring the captivating narratives that have shaped our world. If you're as passionate about history as we are, we invite you to become part of our community. Click the link in the description to subscribe and never miss out on our thrilling tales from the past. Together, let's keep the stories alive.